Here's the moment I think a lot of us have had. A student says, "But you never said I couldn't use AI for that part." And if we're honest, sometimes they're right. We say something like, "Use AI responsibly," or maybe we say nothing at all, and then we're surprised when their definition of help and our definition of help were not even close. So today's about fixing that, not with a long policy, not with a lecture, just with clearer directions kids can actually follow. I'm Peter Weise. I've been teaching for 23 years, 18 of that, mostly high school science, chemistry, physics, and the science of cooking. But this podcast is for secondary teachers across disciplines. Today, I want to give you one simple way to write AI directions that are clear, fair, and much easier to enforce. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of AI problems are really instruction problems. Not all of them. Some kids will test boundaries. That's part of the job. But a surprising amount of conflict starts because our directions are fuzzy. We say something like, AI is okay if you use it responsibly. That sounds reasonable, but it does not tell a student what to do at 9:42 at night when they're staring at an assignment and a blinking cursor and a chatbot that's extremely eager to help. The key idea is this: if the lines matter, write the line. Students should not have to decode our expectations from tone. They should not have to guess where help becomes a substitution. Clear beats clever. And today I'm going to give you one repeatable move, one short assignment header that does 3 jobs. It tells the student what level of AI is allowed, it tells them which tool lane applies, and it tells them whether they need to disclose AI use. Ladder, lane, disclosure. If you do just that one thing better, you reduce confusion, reduce conflict, and make honest behavior easier. So let's build the header. First, the ladder. This is simply the kind of help you're allowing. Maybe the task is no AI. Maybe it's AI as a coach. That means hints, explanations, feedbacks, not doing the work for you. Maybe it's AI as a collaborator. That could mean brainstorming ideas or getting revision suggestions. The important thing is that students can hear the difference between support and substitution. And here's one quick clarification. The AI use ladder is not a one-size-fits-all. It changes with the task. Practice, drafting, final product, test, they all ask for different kinds of thinking. Here's where it gets weird. Teachers usually feel that difference instinctively. Students do better when we name it. So instead of saying use AI appropriately, try, for this task, AI might act as a coach, not a writer. That's a rule kids can work with. Next, the lane. This is the account, the tool side. Let's call lane 1 school-approved tools in school-managed account, and lane 2 is everything else. If your district provides approved tools, that's the safer lane for classwork. Personal accounts or non-approved tools, they are a different lane with different risks. The student version does not need to be complicated. One sentence works. Use school-approved tools on your school account only for this assignment. No personal AI accounts for this class content. That's clear, that's usable. Then the third piece is disclosure. Keep it light, keep it normal, keep it short enough that the students might actually do it honestly. Something like, if you use AI, add one sentence. I used AI to blank, and I changed or verified it by blank. That's not a confession, it's documentation. That's a big difference. And if you really want to lower the temperature, format that disclosure line like any other normal part of the assignment. Same font, same weight, nothing dramatic. Basically right there with name and date. The more routine it looks, the more routine it feels. Let me say the full header once so you can hear it as something you could use tomorrow. AI use ladder. AI as a coach. Lane, school-approved tools only. Disclosure, if you use AI, add one sentence explaining how. Now let's apply this, because the mistake people make is writing one rule and acting like it should cover every task. It won't. Practice is different from drafting. Drafting is different from a final product. A final product is different from a test. That's not inconsistency, that's alignment. For practice, you can usually allow more coaching. A math teacher might say, you can ask AI for a hint or for a similar example. You cannot copy a completed solution as your answer. For drafting, especially in writing, maybe brainstorming is fine, but authorship is not. An ELA teacher might say, you may use AI to brainstorm possible claims or get clarity feedback. You may not ask AI to write your paragraph. For final products, expectation usually narrows. Research and teaching guidance keeps pointing towards this. Be explicit about when and how AI fits the task. Make explanations visible on the assignment itself, not buried in general policy language. And for tests or quick in-class checks, the simplest rule is often the best. No AI unless I say otherwise. Nice and boring, which is underrated. Let's make this real with the science example. Picture a chemistry class writing a CER paragraph after a reaction rate lab. The learning target is not, can a chatbot write nicely? The learning target is whether the student can connect claim, evidence, and reasoning to their own data. So the header says, AI as a coach, lane one only. If you used AI, add one sentence. Then you give examples. So for aloud, you may ask for help understanding claim versus evidence. You may ask for feedback on clarity. Not aloud, you may not paste in your data and ask AI to interpret it. You may not ask AI to write your CER paragraph. Here's what I would say out loud. You own the science thinking here. If you want help making your writing clear, fine. If you want help separating claim from evidence, fine. But your interpretation of your data has to come from you. Students draft the paragraph themselves. Some use AI for wording support, some do not. What I'm looking for is whether the paragraph still reflects the real data and reasoning. Can they explain it verbally if I ask a follow-up? If this goes sideways, here's a troubleshooting line. If the tool starts doing your interpretation for you, you have crossed the line. Back up and use it only for clarity. Now let's shift to an ELA example, a 10th grade literary analysis paragraph on a theme. The teacher wants students generating their own claims, choosing their own evidence, building analysis. So the header might say, AI as a collaborator for brainstorming only, school-approved tools only, disclose use. Then the teacher says, you can use AI to brainstorm theme ideas or test clarity. You cannot use AI to draft the paragraph or choose quotations. Here's some more teacher talk. I'm okay with you using AI to get unstuck. I'm not okay with it becoming the author. Students brainstorm, reject weak suggestions, write their own paragraph. What I'm listening for again is ownership. Can the student explain why they choose that evidence? Can they explain how they revise their claim? If this goes sideways, the line is simple. If the writing sounds polished, but the student cannot explain it, the support became substitution. So, quick brain check point. Students still need productive struggle. They still need retrieval. They still need judgment. If our directions invite outsourcing too early, they can skip the exact thing that builds learning. So the issue is not whether help exists. The issue is what kind of thinking still belongs to the student. A math colleague might allow AI hints during practice, but not during an in-class check. A social studies teacher might allow AI help generating research questions, but not writing the DBQ claim. Here's another story. A teacher assigns a reflection says, AI is okay if used responsibly. Reflections come in. One student uses AI like spell check, another uses it to outline, another lets AI write the whole thing and lightly edit it. Now everyone feels half right. That's a tough place to be. Next assignment, the teacher changes one thing, a short header, ladder, lane, disclosure, 2 allowed examples, 2 not allowed. Not perfect, but now the line is visible before the work starts, and the follow-up conversation is calmer because the expectations were clear. Student-friendly language matters. We're not trying to sound impressive, we're trying to be understood. Shorter rules reduce conflict. Instead of formal language, say, AI can help you get unstuck. It cannot do the writing for you. Instead of long warnings, say, use school-approved tools on your school account. Instead of complicated arbitration language, say, if you use AI, add one sentence. If a rule takes 3 paragraphs to explain, students will remember the loophole, not the principle. Again, normalize disclosure. You're not in trouble for using allowed support, just document it. That lowers the temperature fast. Quick lane reminder. If student identifiable information is involved, stay with school-approved tools or remove the identifying details first. But if your district uses tools like Gemini or Notebook LM in managed accounts, that may fit the safer lane. But the bigger idea is not about one tool. It's about context and clarity. Tools are secondary. Expectations are primary. Here's your try it this week. Do not rewrite your whole course. Take one assignment, add 3 lanes at the top, ladder, lane, disclosure. Then add 2 allowed examples and 2 not allowed. Prep time, maybe about 10 minutes. Success looks like fewer questions that sound like, can we use AI? And more questions that sound like, would this count as brainstorming or writing? That's progress. All right, quick recap. The goal is not to police harder. The goal is to make honest behavior easier. Write the line, name the help, name the lane, name the disclosure. Because when expectations are clear, the conversation shifts from gotcha to here's how to do this honestly. Thanks for listening to Science Wise. If you try this or have real classroom questions, send them my way. Those real questions are what makes this useful. See you next time.